The January transfer window is just over a month away from opening, meaning clubs are busy deciding on what players they want to keep and who they want to let go. While some players' futures are still in doubt, for others an exit from their current clubs is imminent. So in this video we will be taking a look at 7 players who will definitely be moving clubs this January. As always, before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Ivan Toney. Were it not for his gambling ban, Toney would have probably already got a big money move in the summer. It was only in 2019 when he was still playing for Peterborough in League 1, but after hitting 24 goals that season, he moved to Brentford, for whom he then hit an astounding 31 league goals, a championship record before Mitrovic broke it a year later. His first season in the Premier League saw him get a respectable 12 league goals, but then last season he exploded and hit 20, behind only Kane and Haaland. Every time he's taken a step up in his career, he's always delivered, and I have no doubt that he'll continue to do so at a bigger club. Toney's ban ends on January the 17th, and so unlikely he finishes the winter transfer window as a Brentford player. Both Chelsea and Arsenal look set to compete for the 27-year-old, who are both in need for a proven goal-scoring number 9. At the moment, Arsenal seem to be ahead in the race, but Chelsea have a history of hijacking their deals, so watch this space. Number 2. Jadon Sancho. For what was meant to be a dream move for both parties, Sancho's time at Manchester United has been a complete nightmare. He's not played for the club since August, having been accused at the time of lacking effort in training by Ten Hag. Sancho then came out with a post on Twitter denying those claims, and since then he's been completely frozen out of the team. Reportedly, Sancho has been kicked out of the team's WhatsApp group and is even having to eat out of a packed lunchbox as he's not allowed in the club's canteen. There's absolutely no chance of the situation getting any better, and Sancho will definitely leave the club in January, as Fabrizio Romano has reported several times. The question is, however, where will he end up? There's been rumours of a move to Saudi, but Sancho wants to play in Europe, so that won't happen. The two most likely destinations are Juventus or a move back to Dortmund. So the question we put to you guys, if you were Sancho, which team would you choose? Number 3. Todibo. Todibo is the latest centre-back talent out of France that is being chased by Europe's elite. The 23-year-old has been brilliant for Nice this season, who sit second in Ligue 1, only a point behind PSG. His strong performances for his club earned him a senior cap for France earlier on in the season, and he's also been called up by France for the latest international fixtures. The two clubs that he's been linked with the most are Bayern Munich and Manchester United. Both clubs currently find themselves in a centre-back crisis, with Bayern Munich having even considered signing Jerome Boateng until the end of the season. Manchester United have also lost most of their starting centre-backs due to injury, and will be definitely looking to sign a new centre-back in January, with Todibo being high up on the list. There have also been reports linking him with a move to Arsenal, with Arteta keen to pair him up with fellow Frenchman William Saliba. So one way or another, Nice will be cashing in on their prized asset. Number 4. Eric Dier. A player that should have left in the summer, Dier is set to be out the door in January. Postecoglou is not a fan of the error-prone centre-back at all, as he's not got the athleticism to play in his high-intensity system. Up until just over a week ago, he hadn't even played a single minute in the Premier League for the club and has only got some game time recently due to the injury of Mickey van de Ven. But come January, Spurs will be looking to sign a new centre-back, and that will signal the end of Eric Dier. Spurs fans are desperate to see the back of Dier, who joined the club way back in 2014 and was a key player for Pochettino at the time. However, he's way past his best and will be forced out the door this January. As for where he'll be moving to, the best he can hope for is a move to a Premier League club in the bottom half of the table, or perhaps a move abroad. Number 5. Calvin Phillips. It's been all but confirmed that Calvin Phillips will be leaving Manchester City in January. He only signed for the club 2 summers ago, but has only made 15 league appearances after struggling with fitness and form. With the likes of Rodri, Kovacic and Nunes at the club, Calvin Phillips has no chance of establishing himself as even a solid backup option. Guardiola was happy for Phillips to go in the summer, but he decided to stay and fight for his place. That hasn't worked out the way he had hoped, and Southgate recently warned the midfielder that he needs to be playing regularly to be selected for future England squads. In the Premier League, West Ham and Newcastle seem to be the most interested, but Italian giants Juventus are also showing a great interest in the player. According to reports, Phillips' agent has already held talks with Juventus, and so a move abroad looks the most likely. Number 6. Anthony Martial. Alongside Sancho, Martial will reportedly also be forced out the door in January. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who is imminently expected to take charge of Manchester United's footballing operations, has demanded that Martial accompany Sancho out of Manchester United in January. The Frenchman has lost out his place in the starting 11 this season to Rasmus Højlund, and subsequently had his role reduced to a bench player. Ratcliffe is said to be keen to give Ten Hag money to spend in January, but only if some of the underperformers in the squad leave first, and Martial is said to be one of them. His contract expires in the summer, so he would have to be sold in January for the club to receive any sort of money for him. Inter Milan are said to be the most interested in him at the moment, but they want to sign him on a free in the summer rather than pay a fee. United, however, are looking for a fee in the region of £10 million. Based on Martial's injury record in the last few years, do you think he's worth that much? Number 7. Trevor Chalobah. Chelsea's forgotten man Chalobah has not featured for the Blues this season as he's currently nursing a thigh injury. The 24-year-old was on the verge of leaving the club back in the summer, but a move to Bayern Munich fell through in the last minute. The German Giants are reportedly not interested in going in for Chalobah again, but he's still expected to leave the club in January with a whole host of other clubs still interested in him. At the moment, Spurs seem to be the most likely destination for the Cobham graduate. They were also interested in him in the summer, and now with Van de Ven injured and Dier to leave the club, Spurs are very keen to get the Chalobah deal over the line. The 24-year-old is likely to also want the move, as he gets to stay in London and be part of one of the most exciting projects in world football under Postecoglou. The only question remains whether or not Levy will be willing to open up his checkbook for the defender in January, who is expected to cost around £20 to £30 million. If Spurs fail to get Chalobah, then a loan move to Dortmund is also possible. Either way, Chalobah won't finish January 2024 in West London. And that was it for the 7 players definitely moving in the January transfer window. But what do you guys think? Have we missed out on any players who you think will be definitely moving clubs this winter? If so, comment them down below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.